the flight, the dynamic of the runner begins. After some rehearsals back and forth, one of the two no longer returns. He leaves without stopping or even thinking about what he is doing. This has an explanation on an energetic level that is obviously completely unknown at this stage. I will explain it to you. The same connection generates a blockage in the heart chakra that prevents them from reacting to feelings. They only want to flee due to fears in the subconscious, leaving the other party devastated. But it is a process within the very normal dynamic, and its purpose is to open the wounds of one person, while the other is filled with fear. All this is generated at an unconscious level, which for no reason passes through your mind. You just want him to return and the other party just wants to run away as far as possible. This block helps them stop feeling any feeling of empathy towards you, and at the same time generates an uncontrollable fear of everything they are feeling. As I mentioned in a previous video, both parties are totally guided. Even that escape is guided. The preparation. It is very difficult to understand all this at first, but we have to take into account how great this connection is. Blocking the runner is the only way to keep him away from you so that you can heal all those darknesses that came out in you. Insecurities, jealousy, pride, attachments, desire to control the relationship and endless etc. They are preparing you for a relationship of true unconditional love. They are preparing you to be the best version of yourself. Because this is a divine connection. Guided, cared for and protected by an entire heavenly host. Obviously it has to be clean of deep feelings where the ego has no place. This won't be quick. It will be as you learn. You decide how long it will take you to be your best version. Where the fight against attachment will be what marks the duration of all this. I wouldn't want to be too optimistic about being able to let go of attachment or wanting to control. It really is something extremely difficult. That will test you on an emotional level and with endless questions and blame. It is a very painful time where uncertainty practically tears us into pieces. The wounds. This situation awakens all your wounds. The main one is the wound of abandonment, and it only comes to remind you of the previous abandonments that you have experienced. They may have been involuntary, but they still generated that deep wound in you. Divorces, changes of city, deaths, and everything that may have generated that wound of abandonment will come to the surface again. Another wound that arises is your lack of self-love. And this will be long enough until you realize that before that little person I run away, first there is you and your value as a person. All of these wounds were mostly created from childhood and that we have managed to bury in our subconscious with the passage of time. We buried them and put a shell on our memory so that they would not arise again, but here they will all come out, and each one of those wounds for us to face. This is where our ego intervenes, and the last thing it wants is for you to suffer. Then it will ask you. It will demand the return of that person to feel good. I insist on being a guided path. The end. Always it will be the same. Running away, clinging to this stage, not happening, will only make the agony longer. Purely speaking of a twin flame connection. The attachment. The solution to this escape is so simply impossible that it will put you at the limits of your sanity. The problem is that the attachment to that person is gigantic. As I mentioned in a previous video, the equivalent love between twin flames is the love that 1,000 people can feel together. Consequently, the attachment is equally immense, and it is the first obstacle to overcome. It is to understand that no matter how much we want the return of that person, it is not in our hands, as happens most of the time. In this stage, we are not awake to all this, and it is very common to try to bring back that being that harms us so much by its distance. Many people resort to practices such as the manipulation of energies, such as sweetening, all types of attractions such as manifesting it through energy manipulations, even witchcraft. Don't feel bad if you went through one of those cases or if that idea was running through your head. I'll tell you something. Between twin flames, we are immune to the energetic manipulations that the other party can generate. This connection was created by divinity, and believe me, they thought of everything, so without a problem you can even try it and you will realize that it doesn't work. There is only one thing left to do: resignation. A very painful stage that tears you to pieces. With a single purpose: fall into a dark night. Thank you for staying until the end of the video, and don't forget to give me a like, activate the bell and subscribe if you liked the video and found it useful.